This is for the gaming dads. I want to pitch you all. Listen in to fellow gaming dad Trevor here.
Yep.
All right. I highly suggest you retry Final Fantasy XII.
Okay, let's hear it.
And let's go right off the back. So I can hear you already. Those first characters suck. Yes, they do. If you could just survive the first characters, this game is absolutely fantastic for a gaming dad. Let me go through my reasons. So it's a remaster, so it benefits from fast forward mode 2 times or 4 times, which is 4 times is a little bit ludicrous, but it's great. But here's some of the parts of it if you do remember the fighting system, it was active. You can imagine it as a merger between the Final Fantasy VII remake, in that you're controlling one character and you're moving around, except you're not actually attacking. Your attacks can either come from a gambit system, which is to say, here is a ranked level of attacks, or a ranked order of actions I want you to take.
Right.
Firstly, if somebody's less than 50% health, give them a potion. Secondly, if somebody's died, give them a Phoenix down. Thirdly, if you're, attack the leaders, whoever the leader is targeting. Lastly, whatever. You can just set this priority list. So it's almost like programming or coding your characters, right? And so you're just running around. You got this super speed. And as you run up to characters, everybody just falls into place. And it's this very, you might think you like to do that active stuff, but ultimately it speeds it up so much. Like, do you really need on some level 4 skeleton to press, down, attack, okay, yes, that guy, go, and then wait, as opposed to have your party run up and they just kind of run through your instructions?
Right. And I think there's a point to that where that's why Square put in like the no random battles stuff, because you would hate to go into those battles and just keep pressing attack. Do you know what I mean? Just to get through it, because you could beat it. So having that set of rules to kind of fly off and do it, that I think is interesting.
Yeah, that's absolutely. I think it's amazing. If you've ever looked from afar, on the show we talked about Final Fantasy 14 or 13, the live one online.
14, yeah.
14, yes. And maybe you've looked at an MMO and you kind of thought that some of the battle systems and some of the job boards and things, some of that were interesting. This touches that. Like it's sort of a MMO light except without the online part, without the nonsense, honestly, of a million things going on screen.
Yeah.
It's got some of those kind of small elements. Now, if you can get past the awful first characters, get to the Sky Pirate, and then it's fine. The rest of the characters are awesome. Just get to the Sky Pirate and everything turns around. Just get past those first lousy characters. And yeah, I gotta say, so it's on the Switch. I think it's on PC, like PlayStation. It's all around. Not that expensive. I was reintroduced to it because they released it for free on Xbox Gamepass. So if you have an Xbox Gamepass, you have no reason not to do it. And I highly recommend it. Like if you have a bit of an MMO itch, if you have a bit of a Final Fantasy itch, if you liked some parts of Final Fantasy VII, if you're just yearning for a Final Fantasy game, I can't recommend enough. I think it was passed over by some Final Fantasy fans. I know you kind of bounced off of it.
Yeah. I bounced off it hard because I didn't like the battle system. Right?
Hard. I was awful.
I was out. I didn't even meet this Sky Pirate thing. I had no idea what you're talking about. But yeah, I bounced off it pretty quickly. But I think all the quality of life improvements, and then me being in Final Fantasy XIV and kind of liking that system, if I went back to this, I could probably get through a lot more. I think it does look interesting, and a lot of people talk about it as one of their faves, so I wouldn't mind going back.
Yeah, I miss it. I really wish, like I would almost look for another RPG game that has this battle system. I ended up loving it so much because by the end of it, you can just keep adding slots, and you can just continually optimize and tweak it. Like it gets so wild by the end of it, just how good you can get your system set up, and then you're just kind of just managing it just this little bit.
Yeah.
So gaming dads, I highly recommend you guys check this one out. Covers a lot of itches.
You're selling me on 2 games this session, okay? We got Mario, we got Final Fantasy XII, okay?
Okay.
What's left?